Sex addiction is caused by unresolved trauma. You might be thinking to yourself, well, you know what? Sex addicts, they just love sex and they just, they're nymphomaniacs and that's why they keep having sex. That's not actually what it's like. In my younger years, as I've told you all, I was severely traumatized in my childhood. It caused complex PTSD and generalized anxiety for me. And when I was younger, the main ways that I would escape the generalized anxiety were either getting intoxicated or having sex. Because the only times that I didn't feel really anxious was when I was partying or I was copulating. And so at the time, I didn't even realize it. But in retrospect, I was having sex not because I love sex, and I do love sex, and I still love sex. You can love chocolate cake, but if you're having chocolate cake for every meal and you're stuffing your face with chocolate cake all day long, then it's not just that you love chocolate cake, it's that you're addicted to sweets, and you're using that addiction, like any addiction, to help you lower your pain or escape the pain. And that's what I would do with sex. And so, can you relate? Has there ever been times where you have sex with somebody and it seems like a good idea at the time, but the next day you regret it? It's not somebody, and look, there's no judgment here. There's nothing wrong with having sex, but you're having sex hoping to either make some kind of connection just from the sex and or to escape your pain. When you do that, that's maladaptive. And so I don't know if I was a full-on sex addict. I wouldn't say I was, but I would say I had some addictive compulsive tendencies. And again, it was to escape trauma. And most people who are sex addicts, again, are doing that to help escape their trauma, give themselves temporary relief. So if you feel that you do have a sex addiction or at least a little bit of a compulsion, you're having sex not for all the right reasons for you. And again, the right reasons could be a variety of reasons. It can be that you're attracted to a person, that you have a deep connection, that you want to build something with them. And no judgment about the underlying reason to have sex, but it can be pathological if your number one reason is to avoid pain. If your number one reason is to escape pain. If your number one reason is to lower your anxiety. So, what are ways to overcome this issue? Well, what a lot of these videos are about. First and foremost, heal and release your trauma. There's several methods for doing that, and find the method that works best for you and stick with that method and just double down on it until you feel healed. And it's probably not a good idea to sleep with someone until you do feel more healed. And I'm not saying be celibate forever, but I'm just saying you need to put healing as your number one priority, not hooking up as your number one priority. Second, what else? Find a life mission and purpose that you're passionate about. Your mission shouldn't be to get laid as much as possible. That's not a mission, that's just egoic and again, a means to escape. Find a mission that means something to you. My mission, and it could be delusional, but before I leave this world, I want to have helped millions, if not billions of people heal and release their trauma so they can stop suffering, so they can live their best lives, so they can stop generational patterns of abuse and pain. And that's my mission. And I'm willing to do anything for that mission. And when you find an amazing mission like that, it could be protecting the environment. It could be teaching people about health and nutrition. It could be, it doesn't have to be my ultimate mission. It could even be to make a product or service cheaper and more accessible to people. You have to determine that for yourself. And one way to find out your mission and purpose is, what would you be willing to do even if people didn't pay you? Something that you just feel just so passionate about that you feel was your purpose for being put on this earth. So that's the second thing. The third thing is to develop healthy habits and routines. So, for example, developing a meditation habit, developing a diaphragmatic breathing habit, developing a positive affirmation habit, developing an exercise routine, developing a healthy eating routine. The reason why that's important is no matter how tough a time you're going through, your routines, as long as you're consistent with them and do them every day, will get you through the tough times. So if you're heartbroken or going through a hard time at work, you won't feel the need, on top of your past trauma, you won't feel the need to go find someone to be intimate with to help you feel better, because your routines will help you feel better. And so you won't feel that you have to rely on something outside of you to help you heal. You will heal yourself from within. So, again, no judgment here. If you have very severe sexual addiction, I also recommend to, on top of trauma release, to seek some professional counseling. There's no shame in doing that. It actually takes a lot of courage to do that. So if you have any methods that you think will be helpful to our viewers, please comment below. If you have situations where you can relate, please comment below about that too. Until next time, love you all.